Erik and I killed our parents together, so I'd say that makes us pretty close.
Watched a movie and you decided to kill your parents. Most people don't do that.
The Netflix hit Monsters, the Lyall and Erik Menendez story, is sparking strong reactions.
You killed them. You shot them.
And might even be the catalyst for the brothers' release after 35 years in prison. But how accurate is this show really? What did it get right and where did it miss? Will it change how we see the Menendez brothers' story? Unpacking the Menendez brothers' story, the Netflix series Monsters, the Lyall and Erik Menendez story, has taken the streaming world by storm, becoming a significant talking point and even climbing to the top of Netflix's most watched list. A remarkable feat in today's competitive entertainment landscape. This is the second season of Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan's acclaimed anthology series, which takes a deep dive into the notorious case of the Menendez brothers. In 1989, these young men committed an act that would haunt their family and the public forever. The brutal murder of their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in their opulent Beverly Hills home. At the time of the killings, Lyall was just 21 years old, while Erik was only 18. Their youth adding a haunting layer to this tragic narrative. The brothers' path to justice was anything but straightforward. They faced two high-profile trials on first-degree murder charges that captivated the nation. In the first trial, they argued an imperfect self-defense, asserting that they genuinely, though perhaps unreasonably, believed their lives were in danger due to the alleged abuse inflicted by their parents. The defense included shocking claims that Jose had molested them during their upbringing. However, the juries were unable to reach a unanimous decision, leading to hung juries and an uncertain outcome. In their second trial, the prosecution took a different approach, limiting the evidence of abuse and barring the defense from arguing imperfect self-defense. This legal strategy effectively removed the possibility of a manslaughter charge, ultimately leading to both brothers being convicted of murder and sentenced to life without parole in 1996.
A major development tonight at the trial of one of the two Menendez brothers charged with murdering their wealthy parents.
It was one of the most notorious murder cases in years. Lyall and Erik Menendez armed themselves with shotguns, then blew away their wealthy parents in their Beverly Hills home.
Recently, a significant development has emerged in this ongoing saga. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office is currently reviewing new evidence presented by the Menendez brothers in a habeas petition filed last year, in which they argue that their imprisonment is unlawful. This newly surfaced evidence includes a letter Erik allegedly penned to his cousin a year before the murders, in which he details the abuse he claims to have suffered at the hands of Jose. Additionally, a signed declaration from a former member of the boy band, Menudo, who alleges he was also assaulted by Jose Menendez, has added another layer of complexity to the case. Given the weight of this evidence, the DA may have grounds to reconsider the brothers' life sentences, potentially resentencing them to manslaughter with time served. Could this Netflix series be influencing the DA's decision? It certainly seems to have reignited public interest and conversation surrounding their case, drawing in viewers who are now reconsidering the circumstances that led to this tragic outcome. However, one pressing question looms. How accurate is this portrayal? With viewers forming opinions about the Menendez brothers based on the dramatized account presented in the series, it becomes essential to examine the potential creative liberties taken in the narrative. Erik Menendez has publicly criticized the series, voicing concerns that it perpetuates falsehoods and undermines decades of progress in raising awareness about male abuse. He expresses disappointment over Netflix's portrayal, questioning why the painful truths of their experiences are not sufficient to convey their story. In response, Ryan Murphy has defended the series, asserting that 60 to 65% of its content centers around the brothers' claims of abuse. He insists that they aim to portray these aspects sensitively, giving the Menendez brothers their day in court. The truth of their story, and whether this series has captured it accurately, remains a matter of passionate debate. Many are watching closely, eager to see how these new developments will unfold in light of the renewed public interest. As the series shines a new light on the Menendez case, it's evident that the story is far from settled. From courtroom battles to shocking evidence, the series has sparked fresh questions about the brothers' guilt, motivations, and the very nature of justice. But as public fascination continues to grow, so does the curiosity over how much of what's depicted aligns with the actual events. This brings us to the next pressing question. Is the series truly accurate? With the lines between fact and fiction becoming increasingly blurred, the Menendez brothers' narrative invites viewers to reflect on the complexities of trauma, justice, and the quest for truth in a world that often sensationalizes tragedy. The accuracy of the series. So how accurate is this show? Many key details in Monsters, the Lyall and Erik Menendez story appear to be true, even the more sensational elements. One notable scene depicts O.J. Simpson being housed near Erik in prison after his arrest for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Remarkably, this actually occurred. The brothers knew Simpson beforehand because Jose Menendez had signed the former football star to Hertz commercials. In fact, Lyall shared with People magazine that he was able to engage in substantial conversations with Simpson while incarcerated. While the show illustrates Erik advising O.J. Simpson to accept a plea deal in his murder case, reports indicate that it was actually Lyall who offered that advice. There are accounts that Simpson considered taking a deal at one point, adding a layer of intrigue to the narrative. Another striking moment in the series occurs when Kitty Menendez rips a toupee off Lyall's head during a heated argument. This too is rooted in reality. Lyall testified that this confrontation happened, explaining that Jose had bought the toupee for him at a staggering cost of $1,500, hoping to maintain a certain image for his son in light of potential political aspirations. Interestingly, Lyall kept the existence of this hairpiece a secret from Erik. Another controversial aspect of the show involves the suggestion of an incestuous relationship between the brothers. Scenes showing them kissing and showering together, though the latter is presented as an imagined dream sequence, have drawn scrutiny. Robert Rand, an expert on the case and author of The Menendez Murders, the shocking untold story of the Menendez family and the killings that stunned the nation, asserts that this portrayal is entirely false. While there was a minor suggestion of some contact involving a toothbrush during their criminal trial, Rand insists, "I believe the only physical contact they might have had is what Lyall testified to when he was 8 years old. He took Erik out in the woods and played with him with a toothbrush, which is what Jose had done with him. I certainly wouldn't call that a sexual relationship of any sort. It's a response to trauma." Ryan Murphy addressed this controversy, stating, "There are people who say that never happened. There are people who said it did happen." He emphasized that the show aims to present various perspectives and theories from those involved in the case. This includes viewpoints from Dominic Dunn, who extensively wrote on the theory, and Leslie Abramson, who represented Erik during his criminal trial. When it comes to the actual shooting, the series does depict a graphic and disturbing scene that aligns with reality. Jose was shot 4 times and Kitty 9 times. However, there is a substantial discrepancy. In the show, the brothers confront Jose, who rises from the couch and asks, "What is that? What are you doing?" before they open fire. In truth, Jose was shot from behind at close range, meaning he had no chance to confront his sons. Kitty, on the other hand, was aware of the shooting and survived those initial shots, as depicted in the series. In a dramatic opening scene, Erik confesses to his therapist, Dr. Jerome Ozol, that he and Lyall killed their parents. This aspect is also accurate. Dr. Ozol indeed called Lyall to his office following Erik's confession. Lyall allegedly responded, "I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you told him. I don't even have a brother now. I could get rid of you for this. Now I hope you know what we're going to do. I hope you realize what we're going to have to do. We've got to kill him and anyone associated with him." Dr. Ozol worked with law enforcement and had recordings of these conversations, which the court allowed as evidence due to the lack of patient-doctor confidentiality or privilege after Lyall's threats. Drama indeed unfolded in the days following the killings, with the brothers embarking on a spending spree, as depicted in the show. This claim holds true. Prosecutors argued that the brothers were motivated by greed as they were set to benefit from their father's life insurance policies. They indulge in luxury hotel stays, purchase Rolex watches, cars and clothes, and even hired a personal trainer, reportedly spending around $7,000. Additionally, they appeared to be planning to buy an almost $1 million condo. This extravagant behavior severely undermined the defense's claim that the brothers acted in self-defense. While the cover-up portrayed in the show is somewhat exaggerated, it is true that the brothers claimed they went to the movies during the murders, specifically to see Batman, though they never actually left their home where the tragic event took place. As for the legal process and trials, there are certain discrepancies between what occurred and what is shown. The timeline of events does not completely align with reality. However, from a broader perspective, the show remains accurate. The brothers indeed faced 2 separate trials, with 2 juries in the first and 1 jury in the second. The series suggests that the first jury's division was based on gender lines, which is accurate. All votes for first-degree murder for Erik were reportedly cast by men, while female jurors leaned toward not guilty. The series also depicts a moment when a Los Angeles earthquake interrupts jury deliberations during the brothers' first trial. And this indeed happened. It was a 6.7 magnitude earthquake that affected Lyall's trial, as Erik's had already resulted in a mistrial. In a twist, psychiatrist Dr. William Berry, who testified in real life, accused Erik's lawyer, Leslie Abramson, of encouraging him to delete parts of his examination notes leading up to the trial, notes that would allegedly appear unfavorable. This accusation mirrors real-life events, though Abramson denies it, stating she merely advised him to redact portions deemed inadmissible in court. During the second trial, Abramson and Erik reportedly played hangman in court, a detail confirmed by the Los Angeles Times. Lastly, the show introduces a character named Norma, with whom Lyall supposedly collaborates on a book. In reality, there was indeed a Norma Normanelli who testified that she had a relationship with Lyall. She claimed they spoke on the phone while he was in prison, although Lyall's defense team contested this. Norma allegedly sold audio tapes of their conversations to Dove Books for $12,500 without Lyall's consent.
I can move a jury, I think, more than most of these kids, and because I don't know, I get very emotional.
As the complexities of the Menendez brothers' case continue to unravel, another layer emerges that demands attention. The depiction of abuse in the series has sparked significant debate among viewers and experts alike. This raises essential questions about how accurately the show portrays the brothers' traumatic experiences and the profound effects that those experiences had on their actions. The truth about the abuse in the series. The most heartbreaking part of the Monsters series is the focus around a haunting tale of abuse, fear, and ultimate tragedy. At the heart of this disturbing story lies the horrific abuse endured by the brothers at the hands of their father, Jose, and the disturbing complicity of their mother, Kitty. Both Lyall and Erik Menendez testified under oath about the sexual abuse they endured. Lyall revealed that the insidious cycle of abuse commenced when he was a mere 6 years old, a harrowing ordeal that persisted until he reached the age of 8. Erik's suffering, however, was far more protracted, with the abuse casting a perpetual shadow over his entire childhood. Corroborating testimonies from family and friends painted a disturbing picture of the abuse that permeated their lives. Diane Vandermolen detailed both the physical and verbal torment inflicted upon them by both Jose and Kitty, a couple whose love had morphed into a toxic and destructive force. Andy Cano, another cousin, recounted how Erik confided in him about the sexual abuse and the constant physical bruises that marred his young body, a testament to the brutality he endured. Multiple witnesses attested to the eerie isolation that surrounded Jose and his sons during private moments, fueling suspicions of further abuse and casting a pall of secrecy over their household. Expert testimony shed light on the profound psychological toll the abuse had exacted on the brothers. Dr. William Barkari diagnosed Erik with an anxiety disorder, a condition that manifested in a myriad of debilitating symptoms. Dr. John Wilson identified symptoms of battered person syndrome, depression, and PTSD, conditions that were undoubtedly exacerbated by the relentless abuse they had endured. While the series delves into the physical abuse, graphically depicting Jose's violent outbursts, the abuse is more subtly implied, a testament to the sensitive and nuanced approach taken by the creators. Ryan Murphy acknowledged the delicate nature of the subject matter, stating that the intent was to present the facts in a responsible manner and invite viewers to form their own informed conclusions about guilt, innocence, and the true monsters that lurked within their family. One particularly chilling scene in the series, inspired by real events, highlights the brothers' growing fear and the desperate measures they were driven to take. The fishing trip, planned for the day before the murders, was perceived by Lyall and Erik as a potential death trap, a sinister plot hatched by their parents to eliminate them. This belief, rooted in the history of abuse and the pervasive fear that had consumed their lives, fueled their desperate act of self-defense, or so they claimed. The series, while offering a compelling narrative, can only provide a partial glimpse into the complex reality of the Menendez case. The truth, shrouded in secrecy, trauma, and the passage of time, remains elusive. Only Erik and Lyall truly know the extent of the abuse they endured and the desperate measures they took to escape the clutches of their tormentors. There is, with any show about real-life people and events, the reality that things happen behind the scenes, and those are things that will just not be known. It can never be known for sure, but in the end, only Erik and Lyall Menendez truly know what happened. Public reaction to the series. The public's reaction to Monsters, the Lyall and Erik Menendez story, has been notably mixed, igniting widespread discussion and debate among viewers. Some praise the series for its exploration of complex themes, including familial abuse, trauma, and the societal factors that contribute to such tragic situations. Could this series finally shed light on issues that have long been overlooked? They commend the compelling performances of the lead actors, particularly Cooper Koch and Nicholas Alexander Chavez, who skillfully portray Erik and Lyall Menendez, respectively. Their nuanced performances are seen as a significant asset, enabling audiences to empathize with the brothers' harrowing experiences. On the flip side, many viewers have raised critical concerns regarding the series. Detractors argue that it falls short in its portrayal of factual accuracy, claiming that it sensationalizes the infamous case surrounding the Menendez brothers. Is the allure of sensationalism overshadowing the truth? Critics point out several inaccuracies, particularly concerning the timeline of events and the nuanced dynamics of the brothers' relationships with their parents. Instead of focusing solely on the underlying issues of abuse and trauma that led to such extreme actions, some believe the series leans too heavily into the sensational aspects, like the brutal murders themselves. This focus, they argue, detracts from the more profound themes that deserve attention. Erik Menendez has himself publicly criticized the series, describing it as horrible and blatant lies. He accuses the creators of deliberately misrepresenting the facts to paint the brothers in a more sympathetic light, further fueling the debate about the series' intentions and integrity. How does one reconcile the desire for a gripping narrative with the responsibility to present factual truths? His comments show us the complex emotions surrounding their story, emphasizing the need for a careful and respectful approach to such sensitive topics. Despite the mixed reactions, Monsters, the Lyall and Erik Menendez story, has undeniably sparked a much-needed conversation about the significant issues of abuse, trauma, and mental health that it raises. Is this series just entertainment, or does it serve a greater purpose? The series has not only brought the infamous case back into the public eye, but also serves as a reminder of the tragic events that unfolded and the long-lasting impact they continue to have on individuals and society at large. Viewers are left grappling with the question, how do we balance the need for storytelling with the responsibility to portray the truth? This ongoing dialogue highlights the complexities involved in adapting real-life tragedies for the screen, especially those laden with deep emotional scars. What are your thoughts on how the series portrays the Menendez brothers and their story? Do you believe it does justice to the complexities of their experiences, or does it sensationalize their tragic tale? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.